Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Schwab. We're still a little bit behind, but we're gonna catch up. But this week we took a look at season 2, episode 5, The Truth About Cat and Dogs, which seemed so
stunning,
irrelevant.
It was him, my dark lighter.
He has Macy, and something in your brain might hold the key to finding him.
Cat
Terrible.
is not really a part of this episode. They're referring to the shopkeeper.
Yeah, I honestly did not remember her name up until I saw that it was the title of this, and it's like, oh, I guess that was that shopkeep girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what the name of Boxer Boy is. I refuse to learn it, is the thing.
His name's Calvin Klein?
Maggie, you are my density. So this episode, Mel and Maggie are trying to find Macy. Harry's trying to figure out stuff about his past.
Which is also trying to find out where Macy is.
Yeah, everyone's trying to find Macy, but it's two separate stories going on leading to the same goal, basically. Phelan, I don't know about you. I was even more bored than last week at this one.
I didn't think some of the bits with Harry and Abigail were that bad. It was kind of cheap going through Harry's mind just being safe place. But holy shit, the Mel and Maggie plot in this was just them dinking around the entire time.
It was just like Harry and Abigail doing plot stuff, and then Mel and Maggie talk about relationships while dinking around with a dog. That's basically their whole thing. But it wasn't like interesting relationship talk. Because like they've had things where they're like talking about character stuff where it's integrated into the plot where it's fine. But here it's just kind of like, it just didn't really feel like anything to me.
I'm still confused about who Abigail is. Like, she is extremely helpful to Harry through most of this episode. I mean, she takes an opportunity to get out of there at the end of the episode, but she still helps him through the whole thing to do what she said she would do. So it wasn't even like she ran at the first opportunity. She left after she helped him.
Yeah, you know what she's reminding me of? You know how on Supernatural, every once in a while they would have like a sexy evil chick that would be around for a little while until they like killed her off or gave her a new body or whatever, and it would never be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They had like Ruby in several different bodies. They had Bella, who I fucking hated. The like smirky, smug, one step ahead of them kind of.
Yeah, but she wasn't really doing that.
She wasn't doing that, but she has that evil chick with no interesting qualities vibe that I don't like.
I still like, I don't know if her story is gonna be valid. Like if that's gonna be true, you know? It still feels like, is this just a cover backstory still?
Somebody guessed this, and from the way this episode seemed to be foreshadowing, I tend to think that this is correct, that she is related to Harry. That she is like a granddaughter or some sort of descendant of him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got some sort of chip on her shoulder grudge about it.
Yeah.
Of like dark Harry, I should say. Because they talk about the fact he has like a secret family. And, I mean...
Well, that was like his original human.
Yeah, maybe he was an asshole. Maybe the twist is that, he's the Dark Lighter all along.
Well, I mean, they both came from the same human.
Yeah, but I think that she's related to him, and she's got a chip on her shoulder about it, which is also a trope I hate.
Mm-hmm.
Child, descendant, whatever, with a chip on their shoulder.
Well, yeah, if that's it, that'll be lame.
I tend to feel it's that, because the Alistair stuff doesn't seem believable to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so I split up the notes between the two stories, because they're very just jumping in between these two things, but they don't really relate to each other than the fact they're both looking for Macy.
Mm-hmm.
So, So the Mel and the Maggie stuff, they are in the woods and they're going to meet this huntsman guy because the map lit up and said that there was a witch in trouble, and they assume the first witch they see on there must be Macy.
It's so stupid that they just assume it's Macy.
They're like, you work for Dark Harry. Tell us where Macy is. Where's her sister?
And then he's like,
I'm really Dr. Claw.
he's just got one giant hand. It's just... What?
I gotta say, I want to know more about this guy. This guy I like. He was like this Asian guy, like this heavyset Asian guy with a big claw hand that like is a lumberjack out in the woods and marinates women to eat them.
Yes.
Excuse me? I'm so sad that he's gone now, because like what a backstory.
Yeah, it would have been funny if this guy had been around a little longer, I guess.
I liked when Mel belches in his face and blinds him. It's good stuff.
Blunder twins here. It's like they try to question this guy, and then like he becomes confrontational with them, but then he seems willing to deal with Maggie, and then Mel kills him.
Yeah, like she's like, "Why'd you do it?" And like, he wasn't gonna talk or something. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a really clear reason why she kills him when he's trying to make a deal.
Yeah, she's like, make a deal. He's like, what kind of deal? Stab.
Yeah, that's when they find a girl in a bucket. Who is a witch that he is marinating.
Like, these two don't even try to hide how disappointed they are. Like, they don't care that they saved someone else at all. They're just like, this girl pops out, like, thank you for saving me. They're just like, ugh.
Yeah, can you imagine that you're kidnapped and this is the most horrific experience of your life, and then your rescuers come and they see you and the utter disdain on their faces.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We thought you were someone else. Like, I'm just imagining them pushing her back down in the water and putting the lid back on.
Bunch of like potatoes and carrots floating around beside her.
Yeah. Mel pray, well, he's not going to eat her anymore, so what do you think, Maggie?
You're scaring me. You look like the female version of fucking Hannibal Lecter. Put your fucking tongue in and concentrate.
Yes, chef.
What were we watching that had someone in a big stew pot being cooked and they had to get out of it? And there was like a lion outside the stew pot. I swear we were watching something where this happened.
Yeah, it was Alan Quartermain.
Oh, Alan Quartermain, right. Classic Alan Quartermain that everyone, especially CW fans, know and love. Yeah. Can you imagine they do like a CW Alan Quartermain show? He's so good. Yeah, they have the part where the cannibals are gonna like cook them up in a big stew pot, and then they like have to like shake the pot and then roll away. And I think they have romantic times in the stew.
They did Alan Quartermain now. I guess they wouldn't have to hide the fact that he's going off to save his boyfriend. Like they
oh my god!
In the original.
They'd have to do like bisexual Alan Quartermain, so like you keep the interests open for anyone, so he could be like anyone could be a potential romantic option.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for this. CW, if you're listening, and I know you are.
Yeah.
Sexy Alan Quartermain. It's in the public domain. It's ripe for the taking.
You know you would hate it if they did it.
I know. I really would.
Alan Quartermain, the master of adventure.
Not everything can be Riverdale.
Star Riverdale.
Star Riverdale, Alan Quartermain. Okay, so they find out that this girl is being marinated. They go to the bunker, and Abigail is lounging around in the force field, nagging about things, saying, "Even demons have rights."
Yeah.
She calls Mel a perky peanut, among other things.
Harry's still like the only one. He voices any like joy that they saved someone, or just like, it's good you saved that woman, and they're still there stinking about it. Like,
yeah, they're like off in their own world. Like, it's like they're clinging to the original Charmed Sisters priorities while like Macy and Harry are actually like giving a shit about the plot.
Yeah, like I really wish they made like Mel and Maggie care a little bit that they saved someone. It just feels like they don't at all.
Yeah. I don't think the show realizes you can have like more than one thing you care about.
Yeah.
You don't have to focus on just one thing, you know. You can like care about other people and your relationships and your real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they can still be like, okay, we're glad we saved that one, but we're really worried about Macy, you know? Like
Yeah. It doesn't sit right, this whole them keeping Abigail like captive there thing.
no.
It feels kind of gross. I don't know. And I don't, it doesn't feel like they're at that point where it's like they're making morally ambiguous decisions, but you have to because you're stuck in a hard space
like
there.
They don't know what they're doing, and they don't know what to do with her, so they're just keeping her there. Cause like,
it feels so ho-hum.
Yeah, it's like, we don't know. I mean, you're kind of bad, I guess. We don't know. Like
They don't seem to care. They're going off doing their real life, just leaving her down there like, oh well.
Yeah, like, I don't know what they think their end goal with her is. I mean, she apparently did lead to some demons or kill some witches herself. I don't know if she's supposed to have done it personally, but she's done some pretty bad things.
Yeah, she said she killed those witches in the B&B. And I also question that too, because if that was either something she made up or they changed their minds on the story. Because why would she do that and then paint die witches on the wall and all this stuff? It doesn't really fit with what she's saying, that she was getting revenge for her BDSM playthings being killed.
I don't know.
It just doesn't, I don't know. She's there to serve the purpose again, like these supernatural demons. That's why it's giving me this vibe of like, ha ha ha, they're so evil, but they can only say TV safe insults and really tame things, and they're just annoying.
I don't get too, like, she really wants out of this, yet she apparently just can't help herself to continually insult Maggie and Mel.
Perky peanut. My favorite thing is when she calls Parker a loser, and Maggie's like, "Yeah, he's not a loser."
Yeah, of course my loser brother would like you.
Parker's not a loser, okay?
I still check his Insta. Like, she really says that in this episode. Maggie says I still check his Insta. And, like, that thing has got to be filled with, like, crappy little clips of him playing his guitar. Or, like, him, like, playing video games. Like, Parker beats really hard level.
Hashtag blessed. Hashtag gaming life. God, yeah, of all the revelations of this episode, the most stunning to me is that Parker has an Instagram that he currently updates.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves her like, he's like, I gotta go find myself, okay? Yeah. Like, I was the demon source and now I gotta, find some peace with myself. And then he goes and runs an Instagram.
Yeah. He's like, I found myself, and that's as an influencer on Instagram.
Yeah.
Come to Firefest. Oops.
You know what? If we found out that he was involved with Firefest, I wouldn't be too surprised. He's got pictures of his new tattoo. It's like cursive and it says like baby or like Maggie's a charmed one. What?
Here's her coordinates.
Parker.
Oops.
He's doing makeup tutorial videos. Shakes his finger, plays a song at 200 speed, shows you how to do blush and eyeliner.
Probably does guitar tutorials like, here's a B sharp.
I've got 600 followers, Maggie. I don't know if you know, but I'm a big deal. I've quit my life as a demon to become an Instagram influencer. Maggie, I can't be with you because I have a fake Instagram girlfriend and I have to keep the story alive for the fans.
Maggie's gonna lead the cancel Parker revolution.
So, Mel is complaining about Abigail as she's walking with Maggie down the hall in safe space, and she says, "I'm still looking for a shut your pie hole potion for her."
I like Abigail calls them angry spice.
Does she? Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I don't know. I feel if this show had started like this, more people would get behind it like Riverdale. They'd be like, oh, here's all these crazy reasons to watch Charmed.
It's like, Mel B, close enough, Spice Girl.
Is that what they're going for?
I doubt
Gosh.
it. I don't think there's that much thought on it.
The use of pie hole very much reminds me of Dean Winchester.
Yeah, it's very him.
Cram it with walnuts, ugly.
Cram your pie hole.
Yeah, shut your pie hole. Shop girlfriend shows up in the hall and she meets Maggie for the first time. This blows my mind. She has never met her. She is a manager at the place she works.
Yeah. They shouldn't have wrote it this way. Like, they should have had the meet off camera by now because, yeah, she's a manager there. That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, like, besides the fact that, like, Mel seems to be having this secret relationship or whatever, like, that still seems weird that she'd never met her before, but, yeah, the fact that she's her manager and she's never met her, maybe that just speaks to how bad of a manager she is.
Well, I mean, I still don't
she's
understand.
never met the people
like,
who work for her.
I suppose, like, it is still, like, a mall, even if they want to call it, like, this community center or whatever. It just seems like maybe she wouldn't really have to meet her. Because, I mean, it seems like she's just management of the mall area, right? So not every
like
shop
she's just in
owner...
charge of time waster projects.
Yeah, so, like, not every shop owner would probably really actually have to meet that person soon.
Did she even say she was her manager when they met? It was just like, this is my sister Maggie, nice to meet you. Did she even say that, like, hey, by the way, I'm working with you?
I don't know, she probably doesn't care.
This is a very unnatural conversation. So, Kat's like, hey, so might seem kind of weird, but after they did that, like, spell thing, are you seeing, like, worms, for instance, or anything like that?
I've just been thinking of worms a lot lately. How about you?
They're like, no. Cool. All right, see ya.
All right, I just think worms are neat. Bye.
Yeah, I just think they're neat.
This is me, Marge Simpson. I just think that these spells are neat. Have you seen some worms, Lisa?
You sound a lot like me today, Mom. Real deep dive on these references.
Whatever happened to women supporting women?
It's just turning into summer. I only have so many voices.
Hi guys, I'm the new Charmed one.
Yeah, it's Galvin's girlfriend. She's back.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go back home and they don't care about the worm thing. Because Mel seems utterly unconcerned with this.
Maggie
She's like,
brings
whatever,
it up.
anyway.
Yeah, Maggie's like, so that's
Yeah.
weird. She wasn't supposed to remember any of that. Mel goes, I don't care. Anyway.
And this is something she knows has to do with that spell because, like, in the mind, the dream, whatever that they had, like, they saw there were worms in her hair.
Yeah.
So she knows that this has to do with that, and she's like, whatever, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We got a spell to do.
We got our plot for this episode to do, so I'm utterly unconcerned with this right now.
Yeah, and this is a new development, too, because she thought that was just in her head, but clearly it wasn't. So there's, like, something brewing there, and she's, meh.
Yeah, Mel and Maggie unsupervised. It just seems like two kids that shouldn't be left alone. And, like, I said this before they even got into the plot, just them, like, dinking around in the kitchen. I'm like, it just feels like Harry or Macy needs to be there to supervise them because those two on their own just feel like they don't know what they're doing. And then, voila, the whole episode, they proceed to not know what they're doing, messing it up until at the very end, they get the solution given to them.
They're just a couple of babies. Oh my god, with Macy gone, we can drink all the almond milk. No one can tell us what to do.
We'll mix
Bitches.
it with the tequila.
Tequila and almond milk. What should we call that? It should be a special drink for them.
Yeah. The almond joyless.
Oh, yeah! That's good, Almond Joyless. So there's a tracking spell that Mel wants to use, and but it's something that's banned, so that's why people don't really use it. So in order to do the spell, they need something that Macy dreads, something she denies herself, and something she desires. So they're spending this time guessing what these things could be. They're like, oh, she dreads being out of control. Yeah, what does she deny? Dairy?
Yeah.
Remember, they say this specifically, this line. This is not something I'm making up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the almond milk incident?
Like,
the almond milk incident.
how do they know, though, like,
I remember the almond milk incident, ladies.
Like, do they know that she cares at all about having regular dairy milk?
No, this has never seemed like a huge part of her character.
Yeah.
Just one time she was mad because they drank all the almond milk and didn't buy more. Something she denies herself dairy. How do we know she denies herself this? Is she lactose intolerant? Or she's just anti-dairy for whatever reason?
Yeah, maybe she just prefers it. I don't know. But I like that they have regular milk on hand, so it's like, so they drink all of Macy's almond milk when she has it, but then they'll go get normal milk.
Yeah.
And then they'll drink her stuff.
Ah, that sucks for you. Glug, 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 drinking it straight from the carton. Yeah, these have to be very specific things to her too. I think like it has to be like the most important blank, you know, the most important thing she dreads, the most important thing she denies herself, the most important thing she desires, or it won't work. And they think like, oh yeah, dairy. This seems like the biggest thing she denies herself.
Yeah, clearly.
And the argument that they have is about the thing that she desires. Mel says that it's work because of that job that she wanted, and Maggie says that it's family because she always wanted to grow up with her mom, but she didn't get to. Both of the family thing holds more water than the other one. Yeah. Because just because she wanted a job doesn't mean she's like a workaholic. Mm-hmm. It just means like she had a career she really like thought she'd be happy in, like her dream career, and it didn't work out, but.
Yeah, I mean, both those guesses, though, are better than the milk for the deny. That was the dumbest.
Yeah. Maggie puts her foot down. She's like, I'm the empath, so I know best. Which is, it's maybe the first time that it seems like her powers would be the most useful in that situation. It's like, I guess she could read her emotions a little better as an empath.
Yeah, well, clearly she didn't.
Even though she's wrong.
Yeah. Like, she rarely ever seems to be doing that. She doesn't read people very well for an empath. No.
They cast this spell, and it goes wrong, and it brings about the Goosebumps dog with glowing eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. They run into one of the rooms, I think it's Macy's room, and they barricade themselves in. And they have this argument about career versus family. Mel bitches about Parker. Maggie's like, oh, he said he was sorry. Stop being so judgy. Just because he tried to kill us. He said he was sorry. Look, I check his Insta. Yeah. His Insta says, like, I'm very sorry for trying to kill you.
They put an apology song up on there.
It's too late to apologize. It's too late.
Maggie, please don't shoot me with your vagina light.
'Cause you had a bad day, taking one down. 'Cause I will try to have sex with you, and then a vagina light will kill me.
Oh, did you see Parker's audition for America's Got Talent?
I'm sorry, you're the worst demon who's ever been on the show. Not being rude. Howie's more interested in him singing a cover than an original song. That's why he didn't make it.
Could you sing another song that's not about the vagina light? I'd like to see her something I know.
And then Angry Spice is like, that was off the chain.
What are you doing back?
Shoot her off with a broom.
I want you to hear the Watusi.
My time has come. If they had Howie Mandel on Charmed and he sang the Watusi, I would turn around on this. Parker sings the Watusi. Yes!
Yeah, him and Howie sing.
Parker swaps bodies with Howie Mandel. Not as a character, Howie Mandel the celebrity, and sings the Watusi.
And how come Batman doesn't dance anymore? Remember the Bat-2-C?
I want to talk about this weird layout with their house. So they lure the dog into their shed out back, which is just their normal backyard.
Yeah, this is the set it was like before the house moved. Clearly, it's not the empty lot that we've been shown that the house resides in now.
Yeah.
Like, why do they have that shed? Like, the shed came too, okay, but still, this backyard does not match the empty lot the house is supposedly in.
Yeah, their yard came with them too. It's like, how much got grabbed?
Yeah.
Wasn't it teleported?
Silly.
It's a pretty flimsy way to keep this dog at bay, because he breaks out pretty quick.
Yeah, like, that shed does not look like it's very strong anyway, and it's a demon dog, so you think it'd burst out of there in 2 seconds.
Her journal is not here. We've turned the place upside down.
You wouldn't be so cranky if you'd taken your nap.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. So they run into the room, and they sit on the bed bored to talk about their relationships while this dog's trying to break in.
Well, they screw it up again because they try the spell and then they like superpower the dog.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, they tried.
He couldn't get out of a shed otherwise.
Yeah, I forget what they chose as her things this next time, but like strike 2, so that makes it a muscle demon dog.
Looks like you don't know your sister very well.
Yeah, it's like just the blunder trance.
Maybe if they gave a shit about any plots that weren't their own, this wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. Just like, why? Every time it cut back to them, we're like, yep, back to this, them doing nothing.
They talk about, like, Mel was getting on Maggie's case for trying to get into a relationship and saying that she shouldn't get too involved and they can't do this because they're on the run or whatever. But then she was getting involved with the shop lady, and she's like, well, to be fair, it was in a fake world. It didn't really happen. And Maggie's like, yeah, I guess because it was fake, it's fine. Also, I check Parker's Insta every day, so, I mean, I guess we're both kind of guilty. What?
I love just being so bad sometimes.
Sometimes I don't even have a skinny mark. I just have a regular mark. I'm so naughty.
And then Mel screams and her face zooms in and out.
Yee!
Yeah.
They try sneaking out while the dog apparently like stops trying to get in and like goes to take a shit or drink out of the toilet bowl.
That's what I thought. He went for a drink.
Yeah, he got tired, so he went for a toilet drink.
Made an almond joyless in the toilet.
It wasn't an almond joy floating in the toilet.
Well, an almond joyless seems right.
But as they're trying to sneak away, Mel gets a call from shop girlfriend. This is just the same thing that happened with Maggie getting the call from Boxer Boy while they're trying to get the Kion Queen. Like, why this recurring thing of like, oh no, their prospective love interests are calling at bad times. Why don't they just set their phones to like vibrate when they're in danger? This is stupid.
Yeah, they do like the classic like, oh, did the dog hear it? No, we're safe. Oh, we're not!
It almost seems like the dog was just coming, like, he might as well have had, like, toilet water dripping from his mouth, like, toilet paper on his foot.
Yeah.
Caught unaware. They run back into the room. The shop girl texts Mel and says that their mom wants them to know what they're looking for is between the sheets.
Yeah, she goes, Mama Saul wanted you to know.
She says Marisol, and I fucking forgot what their mom's name was, so I was like, who?
Yeah, I totally did.
And they're
too.
like, Mom, and I guess it's their mom.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of a parasol when I hear that. I'm like, umbrella, huh? They find Macy's journal between these sheets, and it has drawings of Harry in there. So they realize that she's been having some feelings for Dark Harry, and that he is all three things. He's the thing that she dreads, denies, and desires.
So it's like these two didn't do anything. They had to have Mel's love interest via Ghost Mom tell them the solution. So they accomplished nothing this whole episode till it's given to them. Like, hey, yo, the solution's there. Look at it. Like, oh, Harry, of course.
I will give them some credit. Mel belched in that guy's face, and she learned that spell. They do the spell again, and it makes the dog nice. So they're like, "Oh, who's a good demon dog?"
Yeah, the dog bursts through the wall before this happens too, and then they turn it
like
nice.
The Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, but then after they make the dog nice, it fixes the wall too.
Yeah, that's convenient.
Yeah, really.
Oh, who is a good demon doggy? Hi, puppy.
Oh, we don't want to have them, like, fix the wall or anything, so it's just magifixed.
Yeah. His eyes, like, he has laser eyes.
Yeah, it shoots a projector on the wall.
Yeah, he projects the coordinates onto the curtains so that they can see where Macy is. This was so silly. Part 2 of this episode, Abigail and Harry. In the bunker, Abigail suggests that Harry shares a psychic connection with his evil self, so if he can just tap into that, he can share his memories and his thoughts and find out where Macy is. So if he just lets her out, she'll help him out with this. She uses special skills. Much like Taken, she has a set of certain skills.
And special spices.
And special spices. The special Coke recipe.
Yeah. Angry spice.
Yeah. She has a special demon skill that she can do the Vulcan mind meld with him. I joked that this was the Vulcan mind meld, and then she literally calls it a demon mind meld.
The silliest thing about, they're wandering around through Harry's mind is it's just safe space, but like they redress it a bit. There's like different doors on the stores and stuff, but it's just safe space.
Yeah, I get that they have limited places to shoot, but it is so uninteresting the way that they do this. Like, when you compare this to like the Van Gogh looking world that they set up in the last couple episodes ago, that was so cool looking. Like they did like this interesting effect on it to make it look different and otherworldly. And here it was clearly just like an empty set with dark lighting.
They didn't have to do that much, to make that place look like something, and that wouldn't break their budget to, slam the saturation, give it a bit of a glowy look. So, like, that worked. This, though, like, safe space doesn't mean anything to Harry, so it's kind of seems like a silly location. Like, we've seen similar devices like this used in things like Next Generation, for example, where they're walking around the ship and that leads them to weird rooms or whatever.
Yeah, you can reuse sets and shoot them in different ways or redress them in different ways or even add filters. Here it's just like kind of an ugly sepia tone with bad lighting. Like it's just sort of ugly.
Yeah. I wish they'd done something different for this. Because it could have been interesting, but it wasn't.
Yeah, this should have been more interesting than it was. Like, seeing into Harry's past and all these, like, things about him. Like, there were revelations here. But, like, it just wasn't shot in a very interesting way, so I wasn't really invested in it.
Yeah,
I like Harry's character, but I just didn't really care.
Yeah, I wish it, like, felt creepier while he's going through there, and I wish they had some bigger hallways, I guess, for him to go down and be discovering these things, which would affect him a bit more. And like Abigail might come in at certain times, but she's not there all the time.
The whole thing with the cloaked woman running around too should have been more nefarious. Like, they could have shot that so she's like much more in the background, like you almost don't see her, out of focus.
Right.
Other ways of making this seem more mysterious, because like overall it was just like, all right.
Yeah. Like, it should have been like Harry's like reliving a memory, finally getting that back, and then like he sees the cloaked woman and it like disturbs him and snaps him out of the memory.
Yeah. There should have been these exaggerations about the memories that he has, because he's remembering good and bad things, mostly bad things about his previous life. What he's doing in the subconscious is seeing all these different memories he shares with his evil self, who is him. He sees him with his grandmother during his birthday party. We discover his human name was James Westwell. He sees his father smoking a pipe.
This is
Abigail's
the most
reaction
pointless
is
part.
yeah, Abigail's reaction is correct. Riveting.
Yeah.
He does nothing. We don't find anything out about his dad, just that he smokes a pipe, I guess, or smoked
just
a pipe.
like the biggest thing there is just the fact Harry kind of like takes in the smell for a second, so you can tell he's kind of reliving that. Like, I remember this via the smell kind of thing. But I mean, it's not enough to bother stopping the episode to have this unless you do something more than that.
And it was a really boring good memory. They just wanted like a couple good memories to mix in, because it was like, oh, you're going to experience pain and pleasure because you'll remember the good and the bad.
Yeah.
But a good memory is his dad sitting and smoking a pipe, stone-faced in a chair, watching TV.
Yeah, like, the thing should have been like, he gets the smell, and because smells can sometimes trigger a strong memory, so that like makes him remember a strong moment with his dad, and it's good. And then like maybe you see the cloaked figure, and it's like, that's not supposed to be here, and it freaks him out, and that breaks him out of the memory. Like, yeah. That would have been a good use for going there.
Breaking into these good memories and making them more sinister. They should have shot the good memories differently, too.
Mm-hmm.
Had them more saturated and bright, and then have this darkness kind of creeping into it.
Yeah.
Or something like that, until it turns into these, like, more nightmarish memories. Because, like, the spin the bottle scene looks exactly the same as like when he finds out he has a secret family.
Yeah.
Like, his wife is confronting him and slaps him, and because she found out that he had a secret other family when he was human and with her. We don't really get much about his wife. He doesn't even seem that excited to see his wife. This could have been a big moment that he gets to see her, and they could have had these exaggerated versions of what happened too, that just turn into these like demonic crazy things, because we even see that these memories are not exact to what they were.
Right.
When he remembers Dark Harry talking to Macy, it's not like the scene where it actually happens, so they could have taken some liberties with this to make it more interesting for the audience.
Yeah. And I wish we had more Dark Harry memories for him to experience this way, to do something with, because they only really had the one.
Which was the Dark Harry memory?
The one
where
you're talking
he was made?
about. Yeah, where he's talking to Macy, and they're not doing it.
Right,
the
yeah.
same. I wish they had like some other things like that.
Yeah, they could have had a lot of other, like, granted, I don't know how long Dark Harry's been around since they let him out of the bottle, but, clearly he's done some pretty terrible things that if you had the memory of this person who was you but wasn't doing it, that would be pretty horrifying. And maybe they'll go into it more later, but they do not do that here.
Yeah. I just wish they had done like a couple more moments with him before this episode that we could have explored in a different way.
Yeah.
We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
I think Harry comes off really dumb in this. Like, he just takes Abigail's word that these things are true. Like, they're hanging out on the stairs, and he's kind of depressed about finding out he had a secret family and he was an asshole, which he kind of already knew he was an asshole, but he finds out about this, and he's depressed. And he's like, are you sure about this? And Abigail's like, we're in a demon mind meld. These memories are real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, how does he fucking know that a demon mind meld is what this is, or if it has to be real? She could have just said, I can do demon mind melds, and then what she really does is project memories into people's heads.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he doesn't know that what she's saying is truthful.
And, like, why is he trusting her to do this anyway? It seems like
it just makes no sense.
A huge stretch to trust her in this manner.
Yeah, like not only is he trusting her enough to let her out of the force field, but he's also trusting her to get inside his mind. This is someone who should be very touchy about people getting in his mind after what the elders did to him.
Yeah.
He's hiding things in his mind, but he's just up to let anyone just violate his memories like this. Like...
Yeah.
It just seems like there's so much to be mined here they do not do.
Mm-hmm. And, like, you could even have that be part of the story, the fact that he's willing to have all these things done to him just because he wants to find Macy so badly. Like, I know this is a bad idea.
He could have brought this up.
Like, I know it's a bad idea. I shouldn't trust you. I don't even know if what you're going to tell me is true, but if it can help me find her, I'm going to do it right now, because right now we're doing nothing. And I can't leave it up to the Blunder twins.
He could have gone to them to ask their advice on this or something, but it's just so separate.
Their advice?
I mean, everything we've seen indicates that no. But I mean, if they wanted a show that didn't feel so clunky and inept, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they have had a couple of good moments with him and Mel before. So,
yeah.
But
yeah, Mel seems Maggie is just dead weight.
Yeah.
But Mel, Fanny Pack Fanny, or Fanny Pack Franny. Franny Pack.
Franny Pack.
Yeah. At least, like, he's had some things with her. Maggie has seemed utterly useless in any and all stories at this point.
Uh-huh.
They hear in the subconscious a stock scream behind a locked door.
Uh-huh.
That's been used since, like, the 90s, the 80s. This is an old-ass stock sound effect.
Yeah, it's getting silly.
The cloaked lady walks past the door, and Harry goes, "Who is that?" "Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt."
You can tell by the way she used her walk.
"I'm a woman's man, no time to talk." Abigail describes this door they can't get into as a mental firewall. The Velociraptor of the magic world. Yes. She has the worst lines. Can we agree on this?
Yeah.
Abigail, I feel really sorry for the actress who plays Abigail, because she is saddled with the worst lines.
Mm-hmm.
What is her name?
Abigail.
I'm gonna look it up. Abigail, yes. Poppy Drayton. Her name's Poppy Drayton?
Wow.
What a delightful name. Poppy Drayton. Well, Poppy, I'm sorry you have such bad dialogue and a bad role. I don't like Abigail. They can't get in to this door without Harry surrendering to the most horrible thing of all, the truth. Dun, dun, dun. You can't handle the truth.
Mel and Maggie are useless. And he goes, well, I already knew that.
What? That's a big secret, you idiot.
Abigail goes, oopsie doodles.
Oops. When they go in there, they just see like a painting hovering in the air, and it's got a castle on it, and Harry's like, we gotta go back because I'm going to Scotland.
I'm going to
right
Castle Grayskull.
I'm going to Disneyland.
Worst of all, I died. Cowabunga.
I've been here before.
At this point in the episode, I thought for sure this was near the end, and this was going to lead into, like, adventures later on. But they're like, no, anyway, we're in Scotland now.
Yeah, it's just immediately, it's like, I'm going to Scotland. You coming? Yep. It's like, this is another thing, too, where it's just like, this is a time Abigail could bolt, but she still goes with him to Scotland. It's very strange.
They could go anywhere in the world at any time now. Harry could get them there. They could get there through Dora's map.
Well,
they could go
Harry can't
anywhere.
teleport still. His orbing's still off.
I thought it came back after the, he didn't get his powers back after the Van Gogh world?
No.
Oh, it was just in their heads?
Right.
Oh, I thought for sure he could do it again.
No, it's just...
How did they get to Scotland then?
They used the portal in the bunker.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, regardless, they could use this to go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Even if the map doesn't tell them to go there, they just say, I want to go here, and they can go there.
Mm-hmm.
This show could be so expansive. They could be anywhere, fight demons or creatures from other cultures, visit different places and people, and it's all just very small.
Mm-hmm.
This feels very isolated, and a lot of this, I'm sure, has to do with budget. But why would you set this up if you cannot deliver on this promise?
Yeah. It's kind of funny, to take away Harry's teleportation, but give them an alternate way to teleport places.
Yeah.
I guess it's just to stop it from being like, Harry, come get us. But it's just like, they can do this thing, just in a slightly different way now.
One of their best episodes from last season was when Harry and Mel went to England and he was looking up his family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that felt like they were in a different environment. They were going on there was a team up we hadn't seen very much. We were learning things in an interesting way. Versus here, just like, it's just popping in and out of like sepia-toned, ugly places.
Yeah.
Scotland looked so ugly. And it was Scotland. Scotland's a gorgeous place, but it looked ugly.
Well, they're just in like a building. It's like, it wasn't.
They were, but like it made Scotland look like shit. It made it look like, why would you ever want to go there?
Yeah, they could have made it not look like that in their one establishing shot.
Yeah. They go to this castle. Harry says this is where he learned to heal. They meet the unfortunately named a Caliban.
A Caliban.
Caliban, which is an assassin, a hired assassin in the magical world. Why did they name them Caliban so close to Taliban? Why did they do this?
I don't know.
Why the hell did you do that?
This is another thing too, like, where Harry just takes Abigail at her word. Like, one comes at him and she dusts it before it touches him. She's like, oh, they're like poison touch. If it had touched you, you would have died. And he's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, he takes her word for it that this is what this is, because he goes over there and like Harry doesn't want to kill him, but Abigail does it. Again, she could be hiding something.
Mm-hmm. And like,
just taking her word.
He goes like, how do you know about these things? She's like, oh, because I called Daddy one day and it's like, can I get an advance on my allowance? And he sent these guys to kill me.
The way that she says this, and because it's here that's so involved with Harry's story, that really seems to lend credence to the fact that she's actually related to Harry in some way.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that he
if
tried
these
to
are
kill
like
her
assassins of the elders, like, why would Alistair Kane have access to them? Or are they just like assassins for hire?
No, they're just assassins for hire. Okay. The people involved with the elders there were the people with the masks, who were not the same as the people with the masks that had the gold chains and were kind of doofy. It's a different masked guy that was there to protect this place.
All right.
But got killed by the hired assassin.
All right, then.
They find this slab in there that there's this ritualistic thing that they did. So there's this flashback with all these cloaked fellas around that are not elders again, because there's a bunch of guys, but elders seem to be exclusively women.
Oh,
unless they had more guys that we didn't see. No, the guy that was that got killed was working for the elders, I think. And
the guy they show like sucking the dark lighter out of Harry when they're making him into a white lighter. That wasn't an elder.
Oh yeah, well, maybe he was supposed to be. Maybe this is different now, because I remember whenever they showed the elders, they were all women, right?
It might have been. I don't know about when we saw the bunch of like blurred face versions of them. If they were
the blurred face ones were all women.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just this time around they're like, let's not go with this and let's mix it up a bit, because there were clearly mostly, or at least mixed up with men and women in these cloaks doing this ceremony.
Yeah,
there were definitely guys there. But they didn't seem to, like, the elders always dressed in white and stuff. This really doesn't match up with what we've seen.
Yeah, I don't know. Or
But maybe this is like what the elders used to do, and then they had like new uniforms later. This is just what the old group and all the men were kicked out.
The ones that were taking Charity to the hell jail before, were some of them guys?
The guys in masks, if you think they're elders, there were guys.
Okay.
But if you think they just work for them,
Yeah,
then it was
okay.
just dudes they made work for them.
Yeah,
It was very unclear.
Yeah, very nebulous what those guys were.
But regardless, I really want to know their backstory.
Yeah.
So these guys have Harry on the slab in this flashback. They're turning him into a white lighter, so they're like sucking this smoke out of his mouth, which is his dark lighter.
Uh-huh.
And they put him into a jar that's labeled with his name.
And then they lock it with a key.
They lock it with the key. It's like a little beaker jar, like a genie bottle.
Yeah.
But they lock it with it. It's so weird.
It doesn't make any sense. And then, like, we see a bunch of these things smashed earlier. like in the present timeline, a bunch of them are
so
smashed.
easy to get into.
Yeah.
Why would you
Like,
bother?
you're gonna lock it with a key, but you can smash the glass? Like, you idiots. Lock
Maybe
a
that's why all
beaker
the-
with a key.
That's why all the elders died. They're idiots. They're dicks and idiots.
Clearly they're idiots. Like, this is the safe spot for these. Like, in a castle in Scotland, if you walk in, like, just a bit of in front of you are these jars with dark lighters, and, like...
Oh my god. This was, again, I keep bringing up this comparison, but it really reminds me of it. You remember they had a storyline in Supernatural where they were keeping a bunch of souls in jars like this.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, gosh.
Ugh. Like,
Yeah.
just thinking again, because they bring it up, the fact that all the other white lighters died because they're still connected to the elders. Just like, how dumb are the elders? Did that have to be a thing? Like, clearly not, because if Harry is with his magic disconnection and the girl from Buffy being disconnected, like, they're fine, I guess. So it's like, why did they make it so if they died, all the white lighters would die? Like, if we die, we just want everything to go to hell. Like, we don't want any fail-safes here.
If we go down, you're going down with us.
Yeah, like, that's what it seems like. It just seems spiteful. We're just like, if we die,
What
screw
assholes.
them. Like, we don't want them to still be able to do anything and maybe save the day. If we're dead, who cares? Screw the world.
It's true. These elders have no dicks.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
They find a bunch of Darklighter jars in the present day. A bunch of them were broken because they died and left a bunch of Darklighter residue behind.
Harry decides to
Bunch of
play
ashes.
with some of the ashes.
Yeah.
I was like,
He's like, if I mix this up with some charcoal, I can make it into a face mask. It's really rejuvenating.
it's not a good look there, Harry.
So this explains why Dark Harry has never been a thing before now, because the elders thought that Darklighters were too dangerous, so they were keeping them in these jars in smoke form. And if White Lighters die, so do the Darklighters, and that's why they're dead. It's not because the elders were killed, it's because all the White Lighters were killed, and then the Darklighters died too.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't because the elders died, all of the rest of them died, right?
No, that's what they said.
Wait, no, they did. That's right, they did. That's why they keep explaining why Harry is still alive, because he wasn't connected to them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that confirms some things that we were suspecting. That, like, it talks about why Dark Harry didn't show up before now, and also the fact that Darklighters are connected to White Lighters. So if they're killed,
Was he conscious in the jar?
I think he was. I think they were alive in there, just smoke hanging out in jars.
So they're just like having this terrifying out-of-body experience, and those other ones just existed that way their whole life, or whatever you want to call it, afterlife, till they re-died.
Harry's what, like, it was since the 60s that he was a White Lighter, so, like, however many decades, like, Darklighter Harry was just hanging out in a jar.
And there's probably been other ones
I think
that
he's
were
pretty justified.
Yeah, there are probably other ones that were in jars longer than that, and then they never even got to exist.
Yeah, gosh, what a horrible life. They even say, like, Harry says that the first Darklighter, the witch that they found, what's-her-face, Helen, and then, like, her sister Darklighter in the asylum, was, like, a messed up first version. That's why they decided to make them smoke form. So she's just, like, crazy. And, like, what kind of horrible people were these elders? And that's their mom. Their mom was involved with this.
Yeah. She is
what
totally
assholes.
complicit, and like if they keep talking to her and act like she's not involved with this, that's going to be real shitty. Like they should confront her.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I know they were saying like that she was quitting the elders because of all the shady shit going on, and that's why she got killed. She was gonna like report Charity or whatever, something or other.
Yes,
but she knew about these Darklighters in jars. She knew all this shit was going on.
She was gonna make her daughters the charmed ones, right? Wasn't that part of why she got killed?
Right. She was gonna make them the charmed ones, and Charity didn't want it to happen.
Right. So it was really just
but she was
died
quitting, right?
I don't know. Was
she was like kicked out of the elders or something or other?
Was she? I thought she just.
Man.
I don't know.
I don't remember shit about this show at this point.
More selfish stuff to me, that she's just like, I'm going to make my daughters the charmed ones. And then it was just like elder squabbles, which led to her death.
I'm looking it up on the wiki. People are so mad at us because I know we've gotten things wrong. That were important plot points too, but we don't remember.
Me for not like memorizing this dumb show.
No, I know these are important plot lines because it was the season arc, but good God, I'm not going to remember everything about Charmed.
Yeah, we watch a bunch of other things too. It's hard to remember everything that happened in Charmed.
Yeah, so she was trying to unbind their powers and she was murdered by Charity, yeah. Despite her elder status, she secretly broke the rules by freeing a necromancer from Tartarus to resurrect Macy. She did that. Yeah. She bound her daughter's powers to keep them safe and let them live normal lives. She never played favorites. This is inaccurate.
Yeah, what? After just saying she played favorites by having her daughter resurrected, she never played favorites.
You know what? I've decided I actually don't care what her backstory is. I'm not going to read anymore. The thing I'm gonna have to look this up whenever I do the videos anyway. I'll worry about it then. Okay. Who cares?
So what we remember of Marisol, and then they can complain in the comments if this isn't right. But it's like she extremely played favorites, and she got killed because of elder squabbles, and she seemed extremely corrupt.
Oh yeah, corrupt to the extreme.
And like they better not act like she wasn't. She never played favorites. Anyway, she resurrected her dead daughter and then was going to make her daughters the charmed ones.
Phelan, whatever happened to women supporting women? The hell were we even talking about?
I don't know anymore. The elders being dicks.
Yeah, the fact that their mom was horribly corrupt.
Yes.
One of the things in this scene with all the Darklighter jars that they bring up, which is still left up in the air, who let the other half of Harry out? Who is his master?
Who let the Harry out?
Who? It was the Goosebumps dog. Who let my dark Harry back from the dead?
Here's the coordinates to him.
Because he has a master because Dark Harry is a genie in a bottle, baby. Gotta rub me the right way, honey. Macy, come on, let me out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, gotta rub me the right way, Macy.
Macy. I'm a Harry in a bottle, baby.
That's not what happened. I'm gonna tell them in the comments. Harry did not sing that.
No, don't watch Charmed, guys. For people who are listening and not watching it, don't watch it to confirm. That's what happens. He sings that song. It was really great. I don't know why you aren't watching Charmed, actually.
Whether it happened or not, it was really scary.
God, we're just anything to talk about what's happening. Okay, so in the bunker, Harry's like, hey, let's go back into my mind because, oh yeah, there was that cloaked woman there. I guess we should find out who she is. They go there. He takes the hood off of the lady, and it's Macy. And he experiences the memory of their first meeting, which had that sexual tension there. I thought it was kind of interesting that he was acting this out with her. Like, clearly she was just a memory doing what memories do, just this loop, even though she was dressed differently, but she was still just saying the things that Macy said when it happened. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is an indicator. I guess Harry's kind of channeling his dark half there, of becoming like him.
Well, this was the whole point. He was trying to get into a psychic connection with his dark later half. So this was him finally doing that. Yeah,
I guess. Like, they were both kind of becoming the same person in that moment.
Yeah, he was experiencing some of his memories.
I just want to finish this. Okay. So he's acting it out, and he finds himself in a safe space again, and Abigail's taken off.
Yeah. Don't! After Abigail's taken off, he goes back to the bunker, and the Blunder twins are like, hey, against all odds, we actually found out the coordinates to Macy. He's like, well, that was unlikely. The end.
Well, he tells them that he has feelings for Macy. Right. That Dark Harry has feelings for Macy because he also has feelings for Macy, and they are one and the same. Dun, dun, dun. All right, real quick, I have a fashion segment. Right after I say I'm not going to do these anymore, there were a couple things I wanted to note. All right. One good piece, one bad piece. Maggie is back to her animal print. She has a lime green tiger print shirt that she's wearing. It was pretty good. Mel has the ugliest dress in the world that looks like a grandma would wear it. It's kind of a floral print. Would you? And she's wearing them with Doc Martens, and it looks really bad. That's the end of the fashion segment. Phelan, what did you think of this episode?
I thought a few things with Harry and Abigail were interesting, but besides that, it was not very good at all.
Yeah.
Mel and Maggie did nothing to disprove my notion that they need supervision.
Yeah. Harry stuff psychologically interests me very much. I do like stories about people with dark halves or competing with themselves kind of stuff going on, this exploring his character. Everything that they did in this episode was the most uninteresting way to go about it.
Yeah, the execution of exploring his mind was extremely disappointing.
Yeah, maybe there'll be some other things, but right now, like, it's really disappointing. Like, it has potential, but it's not very good. I didn't like Mel and Maggie's stuff. Like, I thought it was really flimsy and weak, and everything seemed divided.
It was pointless. Like, they did nothing the whole episode until they just said, hey, look here, idiots. Oh.
Yeah. It was really ugly and boring, and to be honest, I think this season is worse than last season. I'm going to be honest, I was more interested in last season. It had a lot of missteps. It was really, really clunky and went through everything so quick. It had pacing issues. But Galvin. I was more entertained by it. It had Galvin.
Like, the good version of Galvin when he was first there. He's not very good. But
well, it had more life.
Yeah.
I feel like they're honing the characters a little more when they get it right this season. Mm-hmm. There are moments where it's like, this is stronger, but everything surrounding it, like...
Yeah, nothing with Safe Space itself has been interesting.
Yeah. We're five episodes in. We'll see if this season starts to improve. I guess I'm just not in a good mood anyway, so maybe I'm just feeling harsher than normal, but...
Charmed!
Yeah. Charmed! Alright, let's finish this out. If you enjoyed this rant fest that we had here, I'd appreciate if you liked, subscribed, reviewed. You can find us in audio form at anchor.fm under Charmed Hard with a Vengeance or Charmed Rewind, or on YouTube, youtube.com/Movie Nights the series, where you can find Phelan's stuff at youtube.com/Phelis. You can support the show on Patreon and get early access to videos, participate in polls, stuff like that. If you go to patreon.com/movie nights, or if you'd like to support Phelan's videos, you can support him at patreon.com/Phelis. Thanks to Peter Hunter for editing the video, and editing the audio, I should say. You can find him on Twitter at PretorHunter. What hashtags, Phelan?
Hashtag Almond Joyless.
That's pretty good. Hashtag, God, I don't even...
Mental firewall.
Yes. Hashtag Charmed Hard with a Vengeance. Maybe just a classic. I'm just so done. I'll see you Charmanders next time.